I don't want to speculate that this is definitely what happened, but it does seem likely that maybe the very hot temperature had something to do with this derailment. And there are some reports that there's a carriage on its side. If that is the case, then this is very concerning.
Emergency services are responding to reports of a train derailment in East Sussex. It's believed to have happened near Lewes railway station just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's not known yet if there are any casualties. Joining me now on Times Radio is the rail expert and author of British Rail, A New History, Christian Wolmar. Christian, good evening. What do we know so far about this incident?
Well, details are very sketchy, but it seems that unlike the recent accident in Bedford, which was a crash between two trains, this is a single train that's come off the rails. Now, if many of your listeners will remember that before the last heatwave, there were warnings about the fact that once the rails or the temperature gets above 35 degrees, the rails can get as hot as 50 degrees and they can start to buckle. Now, I don't want to speculate that this is definitely what happened, but it does seem likely that maybe the very hot temperature had something to do with this derailment. And there are some reports that there's a carriage on its side. If that is the case, then this is very concerning.
This is a very busy route, Christian. It's one of the key commuter lines from Sussex into London here. We can expect a lot of disruption from this while the emergency services are tending to the scene.
Yes, I mean, I'm slightly unclear as to whether it's happened east or west of Lewes station. Clearly, a lot of trains go to Lewes, and then some of them split there. Some of them go to Seaford, and then some of them continue along the coast to Eastbourne and the like, and Hastings. But either way, there will definitely be disruption. Obviously, this particular train will be out of commission. There might be trains trapped behind it and so on. So, yes, it's going to be another bad day for the railways.
And what would normally happen in a situation that obviously the emergency services we can see from the unverified pictures online are attending to the scene? What will be their focus given this potential derailment?
Well, obviously, the first thing that happens is that they have to turn the current off. This is a third rail system, so it is one of the dangers of these sort of incidents is that passengers get off, and then another train comes along and hits them. I'm not sure whether this is a single section of track or not, but either way, there's also dangers that the electrified third rail is still on, so that has to be turned off, and that obviously leads to further delays because the whole section has to be turned off. So the whole thing is going to be very disrupted, but of much greater concern, of course, is the fact that there may well be casualties from such an incident, because the train may well have been going at a reasonable pace before it derailed.
And given what will happen next, Christian, obviously that line will be closed for a while. I assume it's just going to be as long as it takes for the emergency services to get to the bottom of any casualties, any incidents, and then figure out what happened. So it could be closed for quite some time.
Yes, there's more than that, because often such an incident damages the track. It might even have damaged the electrification. The signalling may have to be reset and so on. So after the Bedford crash, the line was closed for quite a long time. So, local people must expect some disruption for a reasonable period. But as I say, the most important thing to ascertain is whether there's any injuries and whether casualties have managed to get out of there as quickly as possible.
Well, thank you very much. It is the rail expert and author Christian Wolmar. We also have a statement here from the Transport Trade Union. The General Secretary has said, with so many passengers reportedly involved in the derailment, the immediate priority must be their safety and well-being. The General Secretary of the TSSSA said, we are deeply concerned by today's derailment and our thoughts are with the passengers, emergency services and rail workers affected. With so many passengers reportedly involved, the immediate priority must be their safety and well-being. We thank the emergency services, the British Transport Police and Southern Rail staff responding at the scene. Now we'll bring you more on that as the story develops.